Hi everybody, Rick Vanderveen here. I'm just here to go over the new Hazmat squad that we just purchased a few months ago. I'm just giving you a very basic overview, starting procedure, a few things. We'll go through each of the cabinets and we'll just describe some of the items that we have inside. I'm not going to get in depth with each of the items, but it's just a very basic knowledge base of you to know where things are. All right. To start, it's a 1999 Spartan cab. Obviously there's no pump. It's just going to be a vehicle for getting to and from Hazmat and bringing our equipment. Same starting procedures as most vehicles. There's a battery switch, ignition, and a start. This is a little different. There is no air horn above you. It's going to be on the dash. Down on the bottom, same thing, gas, brake, and then we have a siren pedal. So I'll go through the procedure really quick. It's very simple. Battery switch, ignition. It always makes that beeping sound when it starts. That's normal. Let it run through its cycle, about 10 seconds. Does a sweep, and it's finished with its test. The beeping is just the low air alarm. They should turn off shortly, and now it's already off. I'll turn it off just for now to keep going. On the front, we have lights, wipers, exhaust brake can be turned off depending upon weather conditions. The vehicle will automatically start in 4th gear. So if you want to go faster than 52 miles per hour, you have to hit the mode button once and it'll enable the 5th gear. That will allow you to continue to proceed beyond 52 miles per hour. Same thing up on the front is all your lights, generator, PTO. So it does have a generator to run the cord reels and the power on the outside. Of course, there's radios, headsets, and then we'll just move on to the back. The vehicle can hold five members. There's seats for 5. There are air packs located in here. If you're sent for monitoring or metering or paperwork involved, everything is here. The meters are across the back on the floor, and then there's one on the other side. If you're sent for some types of paperwork, everything is located here up front. We will eventually be adding flashlights and a cabinet in the future. All right, so let's move on. Space is limited. All right, so the first cabinet we have on the driver's side, it's a lot of stuff for decon. So if you're sent for decontamination, your best bet is to start on the driver's side. We have brushes, bags, there's miscellaneous gloves, helmets, boots of different sizes, soap, tarps. I did take the time to label as many of the things as I could, so you should be able to find most items. There is an EMS for dressing, for blood pressure cuffs, stethoscopes, and pulse. All right, on to this cabinet, which is where our large decon pools and ground pads. We do have 2 types of decon systems. We have a Dahlgren decon, which a lot of times we don't have to use the big pools. But if we decide that we have to use a lot of water and we need a large decontamination setup, we have the large decon pools and the ground pads to go inside. Underneath there's wands, brushes, all for cleaning. Also, the dressing stools are back here. So if you have to set up a dressing area, the stools are here. And you can take some of the tarps with you for that setup. There's more boots here and more decontamination equipment down here. This cabinet's pretty simple. It's mostly just some buckets, pig absorbent mats, and then there's some the long pigs that you can lay out as well. Anything that you see is pink is for acids or corrosives. So for the most part, for your typical cleanup, you can use gray, but if it's an acid, we're going to use pink. We have some in the next cabinet as well. Close this. This unit does have a air tank bank. Obviously we can fill up to 6,000 psi, so you can do our regular air bottles from the station as well, but it doesn't have a compressor. So every once in a while, if the banks get low, it will have to be taken up to station 6 to be filled. Currently one of our valves is leaking, so it's just out of service right now, but you can still fill one bottle at a time. There's also a cord reel here, and then there was one in the other option as well. This one is for supplied air, and there's an electric cord reel in the cabinet before us. Down here, these are our Dahlgren mixes. So if you're told that we're doing a Dahlgren decon, we want to bring these wipes, and then there's an actual mix and a mixing, what do you call that? There's a container for spraying, Dahlgren sprayer. I don't know how to describe it. There it is. The electrostatic sprayer. That's what you can mix and spray using your Dahlgren mixes. So that's something most Hazmat members will set up. But if you're told to go get it, this is where it is located. There's more pig mats for acid. As you can see, it even says on there, acids, caustics, and solvents. Back here, there's these decon pools for collecting. They're about 100 gallons. You can collect fuel or something leaking off of a tanker truck. They're just basically mini decontamination pools as well. I'm sorry, they're mini collection pools. Back here we have soda ash, things for just neutralizing different types of acids and such. Alright, we will move on to the back of the vehicle. We have quite a few bags of absorbent and spill tackle type material. Back there is an overpack drum. In other words, if you have a drum that's leaking, we can pack it inside that drum. This drum can also be used for overpack, but right now it's currently holding more pig mats, and so is the overpack behind it. There's a couple shovels. This tray does come all the way out, so you can remove this material a lot faster. There is currently a ladder down here. I don't believe we've had it tested, but I believe it's a 35. And there is a roof ladder here. Eventually I'm going to try to add some pike poles for making. Down here there is a small decontamination pool that can be used, and there's also things for grounding and bonding. Obviously, if you're not in Hazmat, you won't be doing any grounding or bonding, but just realize that the wires and the kits are located back here. In this back cabinet here, we have a sked for rescue, and behind it, there is a sked for dragging tools. This one doesn't have as many good straps on it as this one. This one's in much better condition. There's also some rope and some webbing for rescue. This shelf has our weather station. If you're told to come get the weather station and set it up, there's also a windsock behind here. It's all located on this shelf. This shelf has non-sparking tools, so they are made, you'll know because they're more of a brass, or they're made from brass. Below that's a regular toolbox, wood, rubber plugs, wooden plugs, and a small generator. This above here is just a water cooler. Alright, moving on. These are different types of kits, C kits, A kits, or A, B, C, and D kits, and a mercury spill kit. More absorbent pigs. These are for like putting patches on tank cars, D cylinders, drums, kits, and patches. So If you're just sent for a kit, we might just tell you to get a C kit, so try to bring C1, C2. If you're sent for A, bring A1, A2. And there's also there's two mercury spill kits if necessary. Also lockout, tagout. The last two are mostly going to be suits. The difference is B suits are non-encapsulated, A suits are fully encapsulated. So we will just tell you which suits to bring. If you're doing decon, you're probably going to want to bring at least level Bs out to the decontamination area. Level A's will be probably for the entrance. Over here I have more level B suits. I have more large booms that we can place in the water, or if you have a large pool that you have to create a berm or a dam. And then I have more level A suits located here. As we walk around to the other side of the cab, this is the Hazmat 360 computer. It's for identifying special chemicals. Just realize if we send you for the Hazmat 360, it's located in the cab. Over here is the officer side. Not much different. Both radios are located here. And then you have 2 foot pedals, one for the siren, one for the air horn. I don't remember which one is which yet. And underneath the officer seat is the controls for the winch.